Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome, another episode of CAV HQ Live. I am your host, CAV Boss. I hope everybody is having a good hump day. Mine's not too bad. So tonight, as we give everybody a couple of minutes to get in, if you have not noticed, have not heard, the end of last week, the rules update finally dropped. It was quite the haul there at the end to get done, but it's not technically done, but it's out there. So now that's it. That's kind of a good deal. Hello, Ringzo. How are you doing? Like I said, we'll give everybody a few minutes to kind of trickle in. Good. Glad to hear it. So tonight we're going to be talking about the rules update while I work on some new tree terrain. I've been meaning to update my tree terrain that I use on my boards. So I'm going to work on that some more tonight while I talk. That way you can look at all this wonderful stuff here and not have to look at my face. So it's a win-win. If you have not yet downloaded the rules update, make sure you do that. There's links on our Discord channel. There's links up on Facebook. There is links on our forums. There is a link from the downloads page, or the errata page on the talon-games.com site. So lots of places to go download it. La, 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 la. I apologize for missing last week. If you were looking forward to it, I was knee-deep in getting the layout finished on the update. I just couldn't stop. I have been working since this weekend to get the quick start rules, get it updated with the new stuff. So I was trying to get it done by the end of this week. I don't know if it's going to happen or not because I have to go out of town Friday. And pretty much going to be gone for a week and a half. Then come home and spend a couple of days and turn around and be gone again. All right, another minute here and then we'll kick this one in the butt and get her going. Kick the tires and light the fires. Something like that. La 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 la. It's let's see, how are we doing? Everybody slowly showing up. Step by step. All right, so and what I'm working on tonight is trees. And the way that I do trees is I make a base template in various shapes. This is 1/8 inch thick MDF. And then I go back and smooth the edges down, curve them up a little bit so it's not such a drastic drop off. This one hasn't been done yet. This one's just been cut out. I use a little vibrating sander. You can use a little hand router, grinder, whatever you want to, hand sander. But that way, when I set these down on the board to show where there is light woods or heavy woods or whatever, then the trees are mounted on these separate bases. I don't think I brought a tree up here with me there. But anyway, so then these sit on here like this, and so that we have trees on the board. But if a model needs to move through there, we can move these out of the way, but we still know where the tree edges are. So that's how I do these. And basically I go with, if there's 2 of these bases on there, it's light woods. If there's 3 bases on there, it's heavy woods or more. So that's the way I do it. So the first thing that I do, now I use 2-inch circles. I cut these out myself. I think, and these are, now this is a 1/16 of an inch MDF, which is really hard to find, but I think if you look around online or at Michael's or whatever, Hobby Lobby, I think I've seen something like this before. If that's the way you want to go and you decide you want to do something like that and you can't find anything, let me know and maybe we can work something out. But I cut these out. Like I said, I just have mounds of them. So first thing is, and then I mix up a little Elmer's glue. I put a little water in it. I don't want a lot of water in it, but I want it some. That way it kind of keeps the glue going for a bit longer and it helps getting it on the deal. Because the nice thing about when you use Elmer's glue or PVA glue, as it dries, the water evaporates out of it and just leaves the glue. And so anything that's sticking to it stays stuck. So that's really good for that. But I just take one of my bases and put glue on it like so. And dab it on there. And you have to be perfect, you just don't want it slopping off the edges or whatever. Then I come in here with a little sand. Right now I'm just trying to put a little texture on it because I'm going to go back and put grass and stuff and paint it afterwards. But right now I just don't want it to be flat. So I sprinkle just a little bit of sand on there to give it a little grit. And then I've got a little Woodland Scenics blended turf. And I kind of lightly sprinkle that on as well into some spots just to give it some texture. Like so. Because what happens is then after this dries, then I'll go back and base paint it like this. And then paint it up or whatever I want to do and then put regular grass, static grass, whatever I want on there, drill a hole in it and mount my tree. Now, if it's like a bushy tree or whatever, I usually just put one of them on there. If it's pine trees or something, I might put a couple or 3 on there, just to fill it up a little bit more. And then set it to the side and let it dry. Just say you can see this stuff here. I got it kind of up on this cardboard. This stuff does get messy. Now, one thing that I do is probably about every 5th one. So I'll put my glue on there. And I might pick a couple little spots where I put just a little more glue piled up on there or whatever, like so. And then I've got these little rocks. So if I want to put a little rock on here, I can, just so that after it's all dry and painted, I'll go back in and paint them up with rock. Then go ahead and put my sand, like so, and my little grass. Give it a little shake, and voila. There you go. I have a cookie plate here next to me. No, I just set them on, let them dry. So there's a couple of ways you can go about getting this stuff. You can go to the hobby stores or get online and order this stuff and pay an exorbitant amount of money for junk. What I use is, and literally I bought a bag of this stuff 10 years ago and I'm still working on the bag, is kitty litter. Or, kitty litter. You can also get like the dry up stuff or whatever, like they have at O'Reilly's or whatever to clean oil. It's basically the same thing. I forget the exact what it is, but it's pretty much the same deal. But literally you can get this big 5-pound bag and it works forever. And the reason I like it is because it is designed to soak stuff up. So as opposed to just putting, gravel or ballast or whatever that you can buy on there, this stuff soaks into the glue. So it's great for that. Now for the sand, I just get a bag of playground sand at Home Depot or whatever. Again, it's like a 5-pound bag. I put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and 10 years ago, and I'm still using it. I take a flour sifter and sift it so that I get it a little finer. I don't think this has been necessarily because it's got some bigger rocks in it, but also that'll give you, and then that'll separate this out so it'll give you some more rocks too, if you want to use. And then like I said, this is just a bag of blended turf, woodland scenics. It can be any color, anything you want, because all you're doing is trying to get a little texture. So that's what I'm working on. So as you have questions tonight, if you want or want me to talk about something, holler, but I'm just going to keep working on these because I got a crap load of these to do. All right. Apparently, we disconnected. Just a minute here. Oh. Hello, 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 hello. All right, am I back? Hello? All right, I think I'm back. I have no idea what happened. Okay. So I have no idea how long I talked and didn't realize I wasn't on. So much fun. The wonders of technology. Well, I apologize. I have no idea as what happened, other than I guess maybe either Twitch or my internet burped. Yeah, who knows how long ago that was. I was kind of talking about what I was doing here, making my trees. So it only glitched for a minute or two. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe we did. Maybe you didn't miss too much. Luckily, I started getting texts. Hey, are you offline? I'm making trees, tree terrain. I'll go over it again. So the way that I do trees is I have a base, like so, that I cut out of 1/8 inch MDF. I will go back in and I'll sand the edges down so that they're smooth or rounded off, like that. Then I go in and make these tree circles, and these will go on here like this after everything's all done. And that way, when it's sitting on the board, if we have to take trees out of the way, we can take these off, but this stays on the board and we know where the tree terrain is. So what I do to get these ready, these are 2-inch circles. These are 16th inch MDF, which are a little thinner. Like I said, I think you can get these at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I think they do some versions of those. I'm sure there's people online that have them. If you can't find them anywhere and this is something that you want to do, contact me and let me know and we'll work something out. But I mix up some Elmer's glue with a little bit of water in it. I don't want it sloppy thin, but just enough to keep a little water in it and see how it kind of goes on. And then I sprinkle a little sand. This is just playground sand that I get from Home Depot. I think I bought like a 5-pound, 10-pound bag of it like 10 years ago, and I'm still using it. I sprinkle just a little on there, then I sprinkle a little blended turf, which is from Woodland Scenics, that's the grass. All I'm after is I'm just trying to get a little bit of texture. Yes, I think I'm live. They said I was live. Don't confuse me, James. Then after I set it aside, let it dry overnight, I'll come back, I'll put a base coat of paint on it. Then I'll paint up, if there's rocks on it or whatever, I'll kind of put a little paint or whatever. I put my grass, static grass, whatever, bushes. Then I put a tree in the middle of this and voila, it's done. If it's evergreen trees, I might put 2 or 3. About every 5th one, I put just a little bit of extra glue in a spot or two. Like so. And I put a little bit of rock on there. So if I don't, you don't want too much rock because you don't want rock everywhere on every one of them, but just a little bit there. Then go ahead and put your sand on there and a little bit of the grass, knock it off, and then voila, we'll have some rocks sticking up out of the grass later. Now, like I was saying, you can go out and buy ballast. You can go buy expensive stuff. This, I can't remember, it's either kitty litter or this is that dry-all from O'Reilly's. This may be the stuff from O'Reilly's, but it's basically the same stuff. And, but again, I got a bag of it 10 years ago and I'm still using it. And I like it because since it's designed to soak up stuff, it really soaks up the glue when it touches it. So it makes great stuff to make rock and rough terrain out of. The sand, I tend to take like a flour sifter and sift out the bigger stuff and set that aside. You can use that for rock and gravel too. I don't think this has been sifted, but I was just kind of grabbing stuff tonight before I came upstairs, and I don't know if I grabbed sifted one or not. It doesn't look like it's sifted. Yeah, and foam card and foam felt, it's all the same. It's whatever works for you. I like to have all mine consistent, so that's the only reason I do it this way. I think I cut out like 120 of these today, so I got a bunch to do. Also, if you haven't seen, as I mentioned earlier, the rules update is out. There's multiple places for you to download it. It's on Discord, it's on Facebook, it's on our forums, it's on our the errata. Yeah, these are laser cut. And if there's something, a road, like I said, if this is a road you want to go down and you can't find something or whatnot, let me know. We can work something out. Well, and that's what's the great part of these. So you can, right now, all you're trying to do is put texture on there. And once you put your base coat, brown, gray, white, I hope not. Am I still here? Okay, you're scaring me. You got me paranoid now. Yeah, that's because I ended the stream and reset it. So the main reason I was saying, the reason I do it this way, Hugh, is because I get with, using the white and the gray or whatever, but this way I can do everything the same and it looks consistent. So like when I set this on the board, these all look the same. And then if there's two of them on there, that's a light woods. And if there's three of them on there or more, it's a heavy woods. But that way everything looks the same. I'm like that. So, but I had intended on, I'm going to go back and do some snow ones and, all kinds of ones. As far as shipping mastodons, so earlier in last month now, in October, we were getting ready to start printing up masters. And I decided there was some things that needed to be changed on it. And so I just got the models back this week with the changes that I wanted on them. So it'll be late this month before we have mastodons ready because of all the traveling that I have to do right now. And the rules update, got in the way too, but it's out. It's out. Yay. And like this part here, you can do this, and have these already pre-made, and then later on, set them up for whether it's snow or whatever kind of board you want. And this is not the final grass that'll be on here. I'm just using this blended turf for texture. When I put paint over it and the paint soaks into it, it looks like real fine gravel. Is why I'm putting that on right now. At this scale, it's hard to get really super fine, even the sand. So by using the blended turf, it acts as a finer grit. And make sure you got somewhere to work. This stuff gets everywhere. If you've been around the desert board that I built early this year, you'll see how you saw how I did the palm trees. So same principle. Just getting these set up for a nice green grass. Yeah, I'm going to use them for boards. I'm replacing all my old style trees. Yeah, I mean, it'll be for any board that's got grass on it, because like I said, this coat here, the sand and everything on here is just to give it some texture. I'll actually put regular grass on top of it, so you really won't see the sand. Maybe in a couple little spots where I let the dirt show through, but that way the grass doesn't sit so flat and looks, to me, looks like a golf course. Next show, I'll show you how that works. As far as hard points, so every model gets a number of hard points equal to how many DTs they are. So, like, the Dictator B gets 8 hard points. And then hard points are what you use to pick out what weapons go on it, what essays, everything has a hard point cost. So if a weapon costs 2 hard points, then it takes 2 of your hard points to mount it. So it makes it really easy if you want to make adjustments to it. Yeah, it's at this scale it gets weird. But, like I said, if you got a 2 hard point weapon on there and you want to put another 2 hard point weapon on there, you just take it off and slap the other one on and you're good. Refigure your threat value, and They are not. Other than in the the weapons that are listed and any essays. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do to get an extra hard point. Quad models get an extra hard point automatically. But, I mean, that's pretty much the easiest way to know how many hard points that you've got is if it's an 8DT model, then it has 8 hard points. It's like the Willy Wonka factory of trees here tonight. Now, the data cards have not been updated yet, but they still are okay to use. There might be a couple that's off because of a couple of things, or the TV is a little different. Actually, I think the Dervish is the only one that is sort of broken. I think everything else is built within the construction rules. I know I've had a couple of people try to think that they caught me on one, and then I showed them how it was built, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't think of that. That's why I'm CAV boss." All right, I'm gonna run out of room. I can see that. I actually don't have a lot of trees made up right now because of all my old style. I'm repurposing them, so I tore all the trees off the old bases. So I'm trying to get caught up so I can have some for our CAV paint and play weekend. If you're there, you'll get to see these in live. I think I'll be done. Yeah, when I get back, I'll have to go in and tie the two videos together and before I put them on YouTube. I've got the stuff to make one, James. I just haven't got around to doing it. I've got kind of an alien planet look in my back of my mind that I wanted to do. Just haven't got to it yet. But I've got all the stuff for it. I've got kind of an idea for a kind of like a water like little sand islands with lots of bridges. Just with all the traveling I've got to do in November, it's just a crappy month to get anything done. Time for more sand. I'm sorry, James. I may just have crappy internet tonight. Because I made no changes to my settings here. Well, if you adjust the resolution and it fixes it's on your end, then it's on you. If you change the resolution and it doesn't fix it, then it's on me. The wind is blowing really hard here today, so they may be messing with signal. Or Twitch could be having some problems. Who knows? Well, just because you have 300 megabyte connection doesn't mean you don't know that it's not you, because we have that kind of connection too, and it doesn't work all the time. Man, I'll take the blame. Got no qualms. Plus, here's a little thing that they don't tell you, is if you have 300 megabyte internet, that is for a direct connection only. So if you are using wireless, they cap you out. I know ours caps us out at 50 megabytes. Might be different, but whatever. Don't know yet. It's going to have trees on it, though. Possibly. Lots and lots of trees. Wonderful trees. All right, I'm going to try something here since you're bitching about my sound again. Let's see. All right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Is that any better? Is that better or worse? I'll switch back over to my other one. Maybe I was 10 foot away. Maybe I got up and ran to the other side. Is that any better or does that blow you out? Well, I can hear me. Well, I'm going to try to get the boom mic set back up. I just haven't had time to mess with it. So is that better or is it too loud? All right, good. Take it as a win. Take it where I can get it. I can hear the wind blowing outside. So it's probably blowing the cables around. I saw that. Hopefully, I'm trying to come up with some kind of a special deal to see if I can get people to do more boost for the server so that we can open up some other things. I don't know what that'll be yet. And if you've already done a boost, don't worry, I know who did. So. I think our goal is 14. I think we need to get up to 14 boosts. All right, I've got 10 minutes left. I got this many to do. Can he do it? It's a race. I think I'm going to run out of room. It opens up lots of other things that we can do with it. And then if you're a Nitro guy, it gives you more stuff that you can do on the servers as well. Plus, at 14 boost, we can actually call the server Talon Games or whatever without it being some weird number. Or letters and words. You have to look at whatever the list is. It does all kinds of things. It adds it so we can add more emotes and animated things, just stuff like that. Contests, voila. I've been adding some new stickers, whatever, not stickers yet, the emotes or whatever with some of the CAVs. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Emojis, yes, I'm sorry. Emojis, that's what I've been adding. Hi, Mike. I don't know that I've seen anybody else from Iowa yet, but we don't get very many people on here, so your odds of finding one for Iowa here is slim to middling. I know that JS Twitch put a link earlier up to the player map. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get more and more people to the map to put their information on there. So you don't put your info on there, nobody can find you. Probably next August? I'll work on them here. Not much is going to get done this month, but I'll see if I can't get them finalized by in December. I've got to go through and update them to take into account the update and stuff too, so I get the quick start rules done first. All right. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Hey, Mike, what part of Iowa are you in? Some cards are going to have some SA changes. I mean, obviously, if you look on there, you'll like the Nightshade, there is no Aegis SA anymore. So there'll be things like that. Models that only have one gun that can do Ultra will probably get altered. So. Yes, the close combat line is gone and changed to EXP. The Dervish cannot Ultra. Well, let me take that back. It can Ultra if it goes down to a medium Mac, I think. The problem is if it uses the expanded chassis to put a bigger gun on there, you cannot alter it. Which the Dervish does to be able to put the heavy Mac on. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a medium or not. It's a matter of whether it had to use expanded chassis to put a bigger gun on there. If it has a gun on there that it normally can have for its size, then you can alter it. If you did expanded chassis to put a bigger gun on there, then you cannot alter it. They cannot be matched. But it is possible, I haven't looked at the stats yet, but it could go down to a medium Mac and get rid of the expanded chassis and then do Ultra and maybe end up with just as good a gun. I don't know. Or a better model. But I've got to go through all of them and get them updated. That's on my next project list. Time will tell. We'll see how it makes, if it makes people play a little different. I'm gonna have to mix up one more little batch of glue. All right, one more little batch of glue is going to get me done. He says. Yeah, it definitely kind of changes your outlook for the weapons that are shorter ranged, for sure. Almost. I mean, I got left. About under 20. I don't have no room. But we're going to make it work some way, somehow. And get about 10 of these to fit everywhere else. I'll set the rest of them here on this board. Stuff is always so messy. I'm hoping that I wake up to find that I won $1.2 billion. We got my Powerball tickets today. Yes. I do a base coat on them first to seal them all up. Then I go in and put a couple of dry brush on it and then paint ones that the rocks are on. Then I go in and flock them. Then drill the center out and put a tree on it. Put little bushes and all kinds of little thingies. Maybe a rabbit. Maybe I'll make a little tiny rabbit to put on them. All right, we're down to 3, 6, 7, 8. All right, guys. Well, it's kind of time to wrap it up. I've got doing my last 4 here. So thank you very much for sticking around. It will probably be, I will not be doing a show next week because I will be out of town. But I should be back the Wednesday before CAV Paint and Play weekend and do a show then. And then we will be streaming that weekend from the show as well, or from the Paint and Play Day. So, everybody take care. CAV on. And I will talk to y'all later. Have a good night.